On this video, I'm going to share with you the fundamentals of creating an incredible training program so you can break through your plateaus and get the results you've always wanted. So let's go. What's up everybody? My name is Mark and welcome to the channel. I hope you're having an excellent day. This video starts a mini series of videos which I'm going to give you training advice that's going to completely change your outlook on working out. I decided to do this series because as searching on the internet, I realized that there was a lot of poor advice online about building a proper training program. Everyone was so focused on things like how many reps, how many sets, how long you should be running, and other various factors that do not hit the very core of a training program. Now, although those things are important, as I'll address those at the end of this mini-series, they're all missing the beginning or the very core of every training program. And that is what this video is about. That type of mentality is the very last piece of the training program, not the staple. But before, we need to start to understand this critical piece of advice I learned through years of failure and injury. Getting fit or getting gains and other similar training goals is a consequence of a good program and should never be the focus. Please remember that. Your training program should have very focused goals that forces your body to change physically and mentally. Those changes are the consequences of a proper training program and a healthy lifestyle. Think about it this way. If you want to lose weight and you enjoy running, you should set a goal in which you can only accomplish that goal if you lose weight. I do not know a single person who can run a 6-minute mile when they are 40 pounds overweight. And when you start to think of it this way, you begin to force adaptations in your body which cause you to lose weight and keep the weight off. The important thing to understand about what I'm going to share with you in this video and in the future is that this perspective applies to every single goal you can think of. Now, I'm not superhuman or special by any means. I've just learned the proper programming to hack your body to perform at its peak. In fact, I've used these methods to cut 1 minute and 30 seconds off on mile time to run a 5:45 mile, gain 100 pounds on my squat and raise it to 425 pounds in 6 weeks, and cut my 40-yard dash time to from 4.90 to 4.65 at the age of 30. Now, before you start saying that I can't do that, those results occurred at different times throughout my training career as different situations demanded different training goals. For instance, my 5:45 mile time was just before I joined the Navy in 2013, and my focus on squats occurred in the summer of 2019. But isn't that the reality of life? As your life changes and your goals and priorities will change, and so will your workouts. So throw those self-limiting thoughts out the window and begin to think confidently about your abilities. All right, what's the secret sauce? Well, you may be surprised to find out that it's really not that complicated, but it's probably not what you think. It starts, as mentioned, by creating a specific goal. For this example, we will revisit the 6-minute mile time. After that goal is established, you'll need to look at what types of movements are involved for you to achieve that goal. To keep things simple, we're just going to focus on the lower body when running. But remember, these concepts will apply to the upper body and any other goals you want to achieve. All right, so when running, you lift your leg and you flex your hip. You'll drive that foot into the ground to create an impact, and then you'll push off the ground to propel yourself forward, causing hip extension. There's all of this basic analysis that we have hip flexion, hip extension, and an impact. The body will now need to be trained in those specific movements in order to become more efficient. But how we do that is very important in order to properly train these movements. We need to understand that every muscular movement consists of 3 contractions. These contractions are eccentric, concentric, and isometric. But instead of focusing on the terms and definitions, I want you to think about acceleration, deceleration, and static holds. It is very similar to how the individual parts of an engine work. Instead of consistently running the engine and trying to get a response we want to fine-tune and grease every individual part for the engine to run more efficiently. So for a running example, the hip flexion, the hip extension, and the impact need to be strengthened and trained to accelerate, decelerate, and hold. You'll see great examples of this with advanced running programs. You'll see people drive their knees into the walls quickly for acceleration training. You'll see many types of plyometric jumps that focus on acceleration and deceleration. You'll also see static holds like wall sits and single leg balance drills. And that is what separates a good program from a lot of the junk you're going to find online. If you effectively train your movements in this manner, you begin to quickly achieve your goals that you never thought were possible. For our example, if you just focus on tracking miles and times for your training progress, You'll eventually become slower and you'll begin looking back online for new hot training tips, but you'll never get anywhere. Now, on the other hand, if you focus on muscular movements and training the body to accelerate, decelerate, and strengthen specific positions, you'll quickly find your body is responsive to added intensity. Now, if you're interested in finding out more specifically about running and track and field drills, I'll leave a link in the description to a man named John Shepard. His channel is based out of the United Kingdom, and he has amazing material that is well researched for running and track and field. He is definitely worth checking out. But back to you. Let's hack your current program and what you're doing. First, determine the specific goal you have, whatever that may be, and keep in mind that that could have more than one. In fact, I would advise you to have more than one. Just make sure they are not conflicting things like running a 100-meter dash and running a mile, or trying to do 100 push-ups and max bench press, as those outcomes work on different energy systems. I will address energy systems in my next video, but for simplicity's sake, think about what type of stimulus you're sending to your body and keep that consistent through your training. As 100 push-ups would be working on endurance, but max bench press will be working on strength. Second, review the current program you're on and find if there's a balance between accelerating, decelerating, and static hold movements. And make notes of where those improvements could be made. Third, do research on specific accelerative, decelerative, and static hold exercises that meet your training criteria, and then fill in the gaps to create a balance between muscular movements. In the end, you'll find that you're better refining your muscle movement patterns to work more efficiently for your body to perform at its peak. And that's the very foundation of a good workout and training program. That may leave you with some questions, and I'm here to answer them, so please don't be shy in starting the conversation. Please stay tuned for future videos as I'll continue to uncover each of these steps so you can break through your most challenging plateaus and limitations. Until next time, I'll see you later.